How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. Now, first of all, apologies for the lateness of this video. I like to put these up at the start of the week. Everybody's favourite series here on Edgar TV, where we look at darts equipment to see how it affects the dart and the throw. Now, this one's taken longer, as you can probably guess, because now it's Friday and I'm still putting bits together on it. Now, let me just put this up here, I'll show you. I started making this video a long time ago, so start of the week, here I am, giving you the how do, welcome to Edgar TV, blah 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 blah, introducing exactly what I've just done there, what we're doing. We looked at the points and the angle of the board, everything we normally do. So looking at the angle of entry, with the shorter points, with the longer points, I did the timing of the darts going to the board, so all the general tests that I do as part of this series. And you'll see from the angles here, so the short points there just standing as it did, slightly flatter on the longer points, but I didn't notice too much of a significant difference in terms of the angle. That was the main difference we spotted, so the distance that the barrel is to the board. But I wanted to know why that was a benefit. Does it help, does it not? I used a weight test, so you'll see here I'm hanging medals to act as a weight on the back of the dart to see if there's any benefit, like for example these ones here. So the dart that sticks further away from the board and it's further out, do we lose some stability in that? Is it more flexible in the board? Well, actually, from all the darts I tested, there was not really any play in it at all. There was one dart where there was a little bit more play, and that was very loosely in, so I think it was more to do with my throw. And so yeah, there was no real difference in terms of how stable a dart is in the board in relation to it sticking further out. It was well embedded. So what is the benefit of that, and what do we expect to see with these points? So I have to keep exploring. So I tested more lengths. I changed grip and I moved my grip around to see if this made any difference to the angle of the entry in relation to the board. I got on my phone and I phoned a friend and an engineer who helped me again with talking about a little bit more of the aerodynamics of the dart and what we'd expect to see in relation to it. And I tested that again, which is the footage you can see here, to see if we can make the darts go flatter or to make them stand up a little bit more. So then we revisit the angle of entry. You can see here on this side, lots flatter. This is with a longer point. It starts starting to go flatter, and this was the general rule that I started to see, that the dart actually went flatter. One of the main changes though that I could see was the actual grip of the dart and how that affects it. So I grip my dart sort of at the back end here with the sort of past the Edgar TV logo into this blue and white area, which is a bit smoother. I grip it in there. Now, one thing I noticed with this longer point was actually when I pulled the dart back, instead of the dart being quite level in my hand, it felt like the point was more upright. I certainly caught it in the angle of my vision, in my peripherals, so I could see that in there. Again, we looked at this in flight, and actually when it came out a little bit more at this angle. Now, the reason for this is the changing of the centre of mass. The main balance point of the dart had shifted because the dart is longer, so we've got a better spread of weight. So what it did is it actually moved the centre of balance a little bit more forward. Not by much, but enough that it managed to give me that little bit of a tip on the point. The big surprising factor though was in the timing of the dart. It was actually getting to the board around 0.37 seconds, which, as we know from previous videos, my normal throw is around the 0.32 seconds. So it actually took significantly longer to get to the board. So that little bit of a flick and that little bit of movement in the air was actually causing the dart to get to the board slower. Which actually, with a longer point, I thought would be the opposite way round, because actually, really, it's going to get to the board quicker because there's more material in front. So, a bit surprising on that one. The main changes that I can see with a longer point is, one, the angle of entry is going to be flatter. The other key thing is down to the grip. It allows you to hold the barrel more centrally. So if you hold the dart a little bit more towards the rear, just past that centre of balance point, actually by putting a longer point on, it's just going to allow you to come down, get a little bit more grip around the key weight of the dart. The barrel's the most heavy part of the dart, so it just allows you to slide the fingers down slightly onto that point. So in terms of the long points, they're the main key factors I can see. Now obviously people hold the dart in different places. Some people hold the dart down by the point, Some people hold it in the middle, some at the back. All these different grips will give you a different outcome. This is just how it affected me and the results I found. We also spoke earlier about the dart sticking further out from the board, so like it penetrating here rather than penetrating further up, which means the barrel is closer to the board. The main benefit of this is that perception of space. So if the barrel is further away from the board, it's actually going to give you more room in the treble, as it's going to be less obstacle in there for deflections. Now, from my little weight test, it doesn't mean that the dart in the board is going to be more flexible and the dart's going to move. It's just further away from the board, which is going to give you more opportunities and angle of entry to get into that treble or that double, whatever you're throwing for at the time. So they're my main benefits. Sticks the barrel further away, which is probably more suitable to people who throw a heavier dart. That's why you see people like Ryan Searle, for example, who throws at a really long point. Being able to grip the dart a little bit further down in sort of the central point of the actual mass of the main key point, which is the barrel, rather than the collective dart. And then just the angle of entry. It's going to flatten it out as well. Let me know if you've got anything different, because like I said, it will be different for some different people. These are just sort of things that you might expect to see, and some direction in which you can look at in terms of darts equipment. Hope you're enjoying this series, guys. If you are, make sure you subscribe. There's some good stuff coming, lots more equipment exploring and experiments to do in the coming weeks, so I'll keep releasing these once a week, so subscribe for those, along with all your other Edgar TV content, which I'll catch you soon for some more of on Edgar TV.